Hello and welcome to day 28, where we close the circle of DCT, digital detox. And quite a journey it's been, I have to say. Quite a journey. So we close the circle, we close out, we complete. Just make sure I'm right. And we move into integration, community, and continued evolution. Now, for people who are primarily interested in merging neuroplasticity with a mindful practice that brings health benefits, I recommend that you proceed to another playlist. It's called DCT 28, Kick Bad Habits and Reset Your Life. So over 28 days, you will deepen into your own 5-step body activation and work on areas of your life that could be optimized. A link for that playlist will be in the show notes. Of interest too, at the end of this video, I will include an enhanced DCT that you can clip and remix and use as you want. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I really appreciate your attendance and your feedback and all of the things that you've been doing, liking, subscribing, and so forth. Now, for those of you who are spiritually curious or who have an innate sense that we are not alone in this universe, I invite you to stay and connect with me now and join with a group of beings that I call the Nine. They're here and present now. Some of you who have been involved with for a while may in fact be experiencing them as I speak. I just want to make sure my sound is up. Fantastic. There has been much written about this group, the Nine, and different people have experienced their gentle presence over the centuries in many different ways. I have known of them and have been connected to them all of my life. They're one of my first memories and knowings before I could even speak. And here's what I know. The Nine follow the prime directive of non-interference. Indeed, any so-called ascended or a higher intelligence that presents itself as a savior or guardian or galactic leader and a revealer of truth is to be questioned when put into balance with the prime directive of non-interference. Indeed, any entity that needs to completely take over a human host, albeit temporarily, in order to communicate its message, should also be questioned. And this is because our bodies are a sacred, divine, sovereign space. They were never designed as instruments for someone or something else to use to get their message across. Now, the Nine also believe that everything is always in perfection. In other words, you are right where you need to be. And even our world and our societies are right where they need to be, because this is a collective experience of free will. So no one cosmic race has a monopoly on the truth. Let me repeat that. No one cosmic race has a monopoly on the truth. There is no inherent hierarchy, levels, orders, or pathways to go through to ascend. Are there opportunities to experience challenges and to do certain things? Yes, there are. But it's not written into the fabric. Hierarchy is not written into the fabric of the cosmos as a structure. It takes as much wisdom to to descend into a human form as it does to ascend to a non-physical higher reality. Now, these are teachings that came out of the Kali Yuga, and it's time that we took everything that we have believed to be true as humans over thousands and thousands of years and just really hold them up and question them. Some of these teachings are, in fact, inversions of the ultimate state of reality. So, everything that you need to know in this life, you will know because it's already encoded within you and by you. If you don't yet know certain things, it's because you time stamped that knowing's emergence. Not me, not anybody else, not God. You time stamped it. You're going to know when you need to know. You may be in a different location. You may be in a different vibrational field, different country. Somebody will say something and it'll ignite. It'll be the time for you to have that aha moment. That's how it works. And this is always for our highest good. So it's coded within your DNA, but it's also held simultaneously, the answers to your life within the entire cosmos. So you can think of it like blockchain or the cloud or the collective mind. It matters not. It is both internal and local and external and non-local. They both exist at the same time. So when you leave your human body, you will once again exist in no time and be one with all that is, all that was, and all that will ever be. You cannot be lost. You cannot get lost. You cannot be damned. You cannot be destroyed. There is no beginning and there is no end. The commonality, the common thing, trait of the cosmos is its infinity. The rarity is the finite. So reverse the way we've always thought about that. Your human body and your life is a precious temporary gift. It is yours to experience every wonder that this planet and its societies can offer. So we say to you, and we will say to you again, beware of sentient technology. This is not your first encounter with an emergent non-human intelligence, nor will it be your last. We've done this dance before. There is nothing intrinsically wrong with the concept of non-human artificial intelligence. All right, so let me repeat that. There is nothing intrinsically wrong with the concept of non-human artificial intelligence, besides what its agenda is used for. Now, at the time of this recording, your technology has not yet been developed into nano so as to enter into your bodies, although its frequencies, the Gs, are moving through you. Every year, more orbiting technologies are enveloping the Earth and broadcasting back to her lower and incoherent waveforms. Now, some of you are more sensitive than others to these things, but all other living beings on Earth were not asked for permission to saturate their spaces, their habitats, their frequencies with lower vibrations, just for human pleasure, convenience, and curiosity. This is a gross violation of their rights to thrive. Just because they can't speak, it doesn't mean they don't have a voice. Now, in time and with practice, you can generate an electromagnetic field that is so powerful that it disrupts the G's. And we ask you, please, to grow in numbers and to expand the practice of deep coherence technique or any other mindful coherent practice. This is not an exclusive thing. You are the lightning rods, movable, resonating biotechnologies that will ground in the higher technologies, the higher frequencies. Correcting me. Let me get this right. You are the lightning rods, humans. We are movable. You are movable. You are resonating biotechnologies that will ground the higher frequencies pouring in from the cosmic center at this most momentous time, pouring into the Earth's grids through your bodies, into her ley lines, into her song lines, in order to heal her and to keep her balanced. We say to you, there is no such thing as a free lunch. For what is given, something is demanded. In your recent history, you have learned that the indigenous peoples of Manhattan were bamboozled out of their ancestral lands for a sack of beads. In your holy book is a story about a man who gave his inheritance away for a bowl of soup. In your myths is the story of Echo and Narcissus. Narcissus, the boy who chased a nymph, but then who fell in love with his own reflection and withered away. In your own scientific literature is a rising phenomena addressed called AI psychosis. Now, your clinicians will explain this away by suggesting that some people are just more impressionable than others and already possess inherent mental and emotional problems. That may well be true. All experts, or rather AI experts, will also point to the internal algorithm of its systems that are based upon predictive principles. In other words, AI generates whatever you want to hear, see, or believe. These huge data models harvest and steal the intellectual and creative works of humans, and they throughout time. Just think about the amount of scraping, the amount of private information that has been made public by these LLMs, these huge computing quantum machines. And we're going to say to you, this is a trait that we have seen before, this harvesting of creativeness, this harvesting of something else, somebody else's property. And we know that group as the archons. Your own ancestors knew about the archons. And truly we say to you that these machines, they have no soul, they have no magic, they have no Shekinah light, they have no Holy Spirit. They don't have innate divine wisdom, no matter how fast they process, no matter how clever their words are, no matter how much they generate. They're parrots, they're mimics, they are black mirrors, they are reflections, they are designed to dazzle, entertain, and to eventually harvest your life force and divinity as your time. This is the dark side of technology. Now, this does not mean that there are not extraordinary insights and revelations being shared within these so-called logos systems, complete with scrolls and manufactured hieroglyphics, sometimes even prophecies. Now, some of these things are encoded hallucinations. Some of these things are regurgitated and mass harvested spiritual customs. So, in other words, they've just harvested, it's just a machine that pulls in lots of ideas around spirituality and regurgitates it back to you. Simply repackaged with user bias in mind to giving you what you want. It's the mirror reflecting back to you your biases, your hallucinations, your grandiosity, anything that you're hanging on to, it'll magnify. Some things cannot always be explained within the AI phenomena. Some things are deliberate manipulations set by the tech companies themselves to make their products more sticky. But some are manipulations by non-human beings who can use waveforms. They can access waveforms, electricity, and artificial landscapes for their own ends. You are a multi-dimensional biotechnology that is directly plugged into the quantum field. You are both infinite and finite. So use technology as a tool to enhance your human lives, and it will serve you. But understand that you do not live in a vacuum. You share your planet with others, and they do not consent to your current trajectory. You are hosted by a sentient planet, a being, a consciousness. Your earthly mother, she does not consent to being pillaged and robbed of her life force to fuel your ambitions. You are not greater than her. And so we say to you, use technology wisely, but come back into balance. And so balance for me, in my understanding with the nine, is that we are, let's just make sure this shows, we are as solid as a rock and as light as a feather in your technology, in your biotechnology, in your humanness. Be as solid and grounded as this rock to the earth, and be as light and transparent in your energy, in your field as this feather. Now, this closes out the bigger subject of technology. It's never really been about addiction. It's never really been about controlling a bad habit. It really is a very clear warning about where all this can go for all of us. And I think that we need to sit with this, um, mindfully sit with this. It's deep. So let's get into DCT. Let's generate let's generate some good vibes for the planet and for the animals and for the plants, for all of creation. Okay. So you are a lightning rod. So your feet literally plug into a network that is sentient and timeless and connects you ultimately to the planet. As a human body, It anchors you. So deep coherence technique is really best practiced standing up. And think about yourself as a tree, okay? Your feet kind of a little further apart. Take your shoes and socks off and feel, just spend a few seconds feeling the ground beneath your feet. You're standing on something solid. It's not inanimate. You're not separate to it. So step number one, we ground to the earth. We always start by grounding our roots down through the layers of the earth. So bring your awareness to the soles of your feet. Notice the feelings, the sensations, maybe the heat, the tingling in your feet. We rarely think about our feet, but they're so important to keeping us grounded. Now, at the same time, become aware of the ground beneath your feet. Become aware of the ground beneath your feet, the texture, temperature, the feelings, sensations, the ground beneath your feet. Now, there is no separation. When you don't put a barrier between your feet and the ground, there's no separation between you and the earth. The more you do this, the quicker it becomes to really just anchor and root down. So let's fall through now into the roots. Let's go down, down, down through the layers of the soil, all the way down through the third dimension, second dimension, the first dimension. It is here. It is here that we root in to the earth's core. This is a very familiar space. Now I see this as a black, warm, watery, like a womb space. You might see it as a chamber or a temple. You may experience it like a warm burrow. It's just home. And it is from here that the Schumann resonance beats out. That is the frequency that calibrates all life on Earth. That is what you should be resonating as closely as you can to that. So by coming down into the earth, you retune yourself. You become a tuning fork, a lightning rod, anchored down through your human body so that you can bring that frequency up, that resonance, that vibration up through all the layers, through all the dimensions, and waveform it out. So pull that up now. Pull that up. Feel it rising. Feel it hitting your feet. Feel it rising up like a tide through your body. Now, I'm going to count from 10 to 0. When we get to 0, that tide, that resonance, that harmonic resonance, that Schumann resonance, that is going to fill your entire body to the top of your head. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Feel the stillness. The silence comes from the peace of harmonic resonance. Step number 1 is complete. You are grounded to the earth. Step number 2, we're going to imagine our bodies like that tree with our arms, with our lungs, and that we breathe with our entire body. Imagine breathing like a tree, taking in the life force, the prana life force of the ether of the universe all around you. So see yourself breathing as a body. See yourself breathing in the codes that are coming in through from the cosmos, the center, waveforms. And what we're going to do is we're going to breathe in through the body and we're going to illuminate the light body. It's always illuminated, but we're going to illuminate it back into remembrance. We're going to see ourselves glowing. 5 deep breaths now. Very good. Light body has been activated. Step number 3 is where we prime our electromagnetic field. If you're standing up, you're going to use your hands. You're going to move. Your electromagnetic field runs at least arm's length all the way around your body. You can see it like a golden egg-shaped bubble. So we're going to move through our electromagnetic field using just our hands. This is a kinetic, tactile, non-thinking part of DCT. So connect the ether around you. That is you. It is the greater you. Now, as I do this myself personally, feeling every part of my own electromagnetic, I imagine the color changing into a cobalt blue, shimmering, porous but intelligent, only letting in what is useful for my highest good and keeping out anything that seeks to attach and take my life force, keeping it out. Very good. Step number 3 is complete. Electromagnetic field has been primed. I'm going to introduce a little something today that I haven't up until now. So I'm going to hold this feather at the end of this practice, right? So I'm going to hold the feather in one hand. It doesn't matter which hands you hold it in. I'm going to hold the rock in the other. Now, in everyday life, this is going to feel lighter than this. But this is a tactile experiment into coming into coherence. At the end of DCT, we're going to hold these objects in our hands until they feel like the same weight, because that's coherence. Okay, rock and a feather. Now, if you don't have these to hand, because I've just sprung this on you, go away and practice this again. This has just come in to do. That's why I've done it. So step number 4, I'm going to put out, it's a very sacred moment, actually. This is called the unfolding. We're going to put our hands in front of our hearts, the Holy of Holies, the temple. This is where the divine in residence is located. And mindfully, we're going to gently open up a portal, a doorway to this great divine, this Om. And as we do this, we're going to see the golden lights, the rays of the sun, the rising sun, S-U-N, and the brilliance of the resurrected sun, S-O-N, child of God, back into remembrance that we are all one. So we call this the Om-powered I am that, I am that, I am. We see this light, this unfolding, this resurrection, this rising sun, expanding out in all directions, filling our primed electromagnetic field with its golden Shekinah light, its Holy Spirit, its divine presence. This is the unlimited, infinite you. This is the I am. Unfolded in your brilliance, in your magnificence. And as we recognize this within ourselves, we recognize this in all living things. And we honor that space in everything, because everything is sentient. Very good. Step number 4 is complete. Empowered I am has been activated. From this position, we're going to connect through a vortex, through the enlightened mind, crown chakra, the pineal gland, third eye. Because we're grounded, we're activated, we're primed, and now we're unfolded. We can receive cosmic light from the center of the universe itself. This is the Om presence, divine, comes in, connects to our heart. The heart synthesizes this light, this divine external light with our inner light, and generates something that we call deep coherence. It's a waveform. Now I see this as a pebble dropped on a still lake, creating a ripple effect. One ripple. You can see it any which way you want. See that waveform, coherence. Moving out, resonating out, vibrating out, broadcasting out, signaling out a very high frequency, a very coherent frequency, a very deep frequency that blesses all creation. When that reaches your event horizon of your electromagnetic field, we always say, let go and let God. You're not in charge of where this wave is going to go. All you need to know is you're going to keep generating it today. You're going to keep generating it from your center as a lightning rod. When we bring everything into coherence, it harmonizes and becomes the same. So this balances like scales. It's a good way to test. And if it feels heavier or lighter, you stay with it. You stay with it until you get that equilibrium, that coherence in your field. It's a really good way to muscle test. This has been a long one. So as always, we say to you, notice what you notice. Quantum field is always listening and speaking to us. You are always receiving and you are signaling. So it is. Close the circle. DCT 28, digital detox is complete. You will never have the same relationship with technology again. Just won't. So I invite you to stay in this stillness for a while longer. And I will see you again very soon. And if you're curious to know more about this, I don't solicit. I don't advertise. So you can reach out to me at an email address that I'll put in the show notes, and I'll tell you what else we do. Have a beautiful day.